Hi students, welcome to ACE Online. In this section we are going to discuss about some of the important questions which concerns to general science point of view. So here, in this general science, majorly highlighted physics, chemistry and biology related questions which is related to SSC JE point of view. So here it is the first question guys. Halogens have dash electrons in their outermost shell. 7, 6, 8, 5. Yes. How many electrons it has? First of all, you have to know about the meaning of halogens. If you consider periodic table, totally we have 18 groups, next 7 periods. So this is first group, alkali metals, alkaline earth metals. These are second group, alkaline earth metals. Next, these are third group. So fourth group, fourth A group. So fifth A group, sixth A group, seventh A. Next, eighth A group. Actually, these seventh A group elements or 17th group elements are treated as halogens. Okay, so halogens. So fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. So here the general electronic configuration NS2NP5. NS2NP5. So totally how many electrons we have in the valency shell? 7 electrons only. Okay, so 7 electrons only. So that's why here the correct answer is option A. So option A. So 7. Option A 7. Okay. So next one. So here it is the second question. The elements of the group, so 3 to 12 is called dash elements or transition elements. So D block, A block, C block, B block. Okay. So this is also previous year question. Here it is. If you consider periodic table, so video is not playing, no? Okay, so next the elements of the group 3rd to 12 are called as dash elements or transition elements. So here it is in periodic table. So looking like this orientation. So these elements are called as S block. So these are considered as P block. Next these are treated as D block, and here we have some more elements. Those are F block. So 3 to 12. 3 to 12 means so 1, 2. Next here it is 3. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Okay, so here it is 13. So these elements are treated as mostly D block elements. Okay, so D block elements. So that's why guys here the correct answer is option A, option 1 only. Okay, so from here to here. So scandium 2 mostly zinc, whatever it is, almost all these elements are treated as D block elements. Okay, so the next one, topaz, is a dash of fluorine and aluminum. So here they mentioned about one of the mineral. Okay, so one of the mineral, carbonate, sulfonate, next phosphate, next silicate. So topaz. So it is a aluminum silicate derivatives. Of course, it has the fluorine and some of the hydroxides. So here we have to consider. They already mentioned so fluorine and aluminum. Next, it has excess amount of silicates also. Okay, so silicates also. Because of that, option D is the correct answer. Okay, option 4 is the correct one. Next one, in the periodic table, the highly electronegative halogens and the highly electropositive alkali metals are separated by. So highly electronegative elements, where did we have these highly electronegative elements? So mostly here, na? So highly electronegative halogens and highly electropositive alkali metals. Okay, so mostly we have highly electropositive elements, especially at this region. Okay, so this is the first group. So first group, and this is the 17th group. 17th group or 7th A group. So these are separated by rare earth elements, noble elements, alkaline earth metals, next noble gases. Okay, so what is the correct answer, guys? Rare earth elements. Of course, there is no possibility to mention the rare earth elements here. Next, noble metals. Noble metals means copper, silver, gold. These are the noble metals, osmium. Next, alkaline earth metals. Alkaline earth metals are existed here. So these two are separated by this. Okay, so mostly by these elements. Okay, so by these elements, that is nothing but noble gases. Option 4 is the correct one. Option 4. Okay, so here it is. Option 4 is the correct one. Next, almost 98% of earth crust is made up of 8 elements. Which of the following does not figure among these elements? Yes, can you guess what is the correct answer here? So carbon, oxygen, calcium, silicon. If you consider the earth crust, guys, mostly we have silicon. Okay, so silicon. Next, oxygen. This is the most abundant element. Next, silicon, aluminum, iron. Okay, so iron. So these type of next carbon related derivatives are also be existed, but here the wrong option is option 3 only. Option 3 only. Okay, so here it is. You can observe that. So silicon around 28%, oxygen 46%, next aluminum 8.2%, iron, so calcium is also existed 4.2%, next sodium, next magnesium, potassium, titanium, some other elements. Okay, so some other elements, but here based on the options, guys, we should, okay, sorry, based on the options, right. So compared with calcium, sorry, here the correct answer is option 1 only. Option 1. So not the calcium. Why? Because calcium is also existed. So in the earth crust, guys, we have very less amount of carbon derivatives. That's why option A is the correct one. Option A is the correct one. Next one, the color of an emerald is generally, emerald is a ruby stone. Okay, it is a ruby stone, ruby type of stone. Mostly in these emeralds, we are having some chromium and aluminum oxide related derivatives, Al2O3. So these kind of chemical composition, because of that it emits mostly green color. So option 2 is the right answer. Okay, option 2. Here it is, emeralds. So the color of emeralds is mostly green in green. Next one, when we cut an onion, the vegetable emits an odor and our eyes tear up. Our eyes tear up. So which of the following compound is responsible for the tears and odor resulting from freshly cut onions? Freshly cut onions. Yes. Anyone? What is the correct option here? Yes. Anyone? What is the correct option? They mention acetic acid, next citric acid, next ascorbic acid, next sulfuric acid. Ascorbic acid, next sulfuric acid. If you consider the onions, so these are having sulfur. So sulfur related elements, na. So when we cut these onions, guys, mostly it getting to be oxidized. So then we are having, mostly we are getting sulfonic acid. Sulfonic acid. Actually, this is the correct option, but here they mentioned sulfur related chemical, na. So there is nothing but sulfuric acid. Option 4 is the correct one. Option 4. What about ascorbic acid? Ascorbic acid means vitamin C. Okay, so vitamin C is also called as ascorbic acid. So citric acid, next acetic acid. Acetic acid is having like this is the formula of acetic acid. Next, what about citric acid? Citric acid is also having the COOH groups. Okay, so COOH groups, it does not having any sulfur related derivatives. That's why here the correct option is option 4 only. Option 4 only. So sulfuric acid. So sulfuric acid. Next, which of the following acid is used in purification of gold and silver? Purification of gold and silver. So formic acid, acetic acid, malic acid, nitric acid. So purification of gold. So the symbol of gold, nothing but Au, Rm. Okay, so Rm. Here to purify these type of derivatives, guys, we have to use majorly aqua fortis. Aqua fortis. Aqua fortis. Aqua fortis means nothing but nitric acid. Nitric acid. HNO3. Okay, so HNO3. So here the correct option is option 4 only. Option 4. So what about formic acid? HCOOH. So this formic acid is considered from ants. Na? Okay, so in Latin, form means nothing but ant. Ant secreted acid is treated as formic acid. Next, acetic acid. Of course, acetic acid means CH3COOH. CH3COOH. If you consider 4 to 8% acetic acid, then it is called as vinegar. Then it is considered as vinegar. Okay, next malic acid. So malic acid is also COOH related groups. Na? So malic acid, adipic acid. Okay, so oxalic acid. These are all considered as some of the COOH related groups. COOH related groups. Okay, so not only nitric acid. To dissolve the gold, we can also use 2 more chemicals. Anyone guess the answer? To dissolve the gold, we can also use 2 more other chemicals. What are those? Two more other chemicals. Yes, anyone? Aquaresia. Okay, aquaresia. Aquaresia means? Someone said aquaresia. So what is the meaning of aquaresia, guys? What kind of chemicals it has? Anyone? Yes, anyone? So aquaresia means, so it is also called as royal liquid. Okay, so royal liquid. So it has mostly hydrochloric acid. Next HNO3. Okay, HNO3. So here we should consider 3:1. So 3 units of HCl, 1 unit of nitric acid. The group of this composition is treated as mostly royal liquid, nothing but aquaresia. In this chemical also, okay, so in this chemical also, this one can be easily dissolved. Na? So here we are getting nitrosyl chloride. So gold can also easily dissolved in nitrosyl chloride. Nitrosyl chloride. Easily dissolved in nitrosyl chloride. Okay, right. So next, so here we have only 2 chemicals. So one more chemical is also there. So by using that chemical also we can easily dissolve the gold. What was that? Anyone? So what is the name of the chemical? What is the name of the chemical? What is the name of the chemical? Yes. Anyone? Okay, so that is nothing but cyanide, cyanide or nitrile. This is also called as nitrile, nitrile. So generally we can use potassium cyanide, KCN, KCN, or sodium cyanide, NaCN, or HCN, hydrogen cyanide. So potassium, potassium cyanide, potassium cyanide, okay, potassium cyanide. Next sodium cyanide, sodium cyanide, or hydrogen cyanide, okay, hydrogen cyanide. So in these chemicals, guys, mostly gold can be easily dissolved. Gold can be easily dissolved. So here I have a question for you again. So that is nothing but, yes, nothing but, so these are all acids, HCN, nitric acid, aqua fortis, these are all acids. But these two are bases. These two are bases. Okay, next here one more metal is there. So that is nothing but mercury. Okay, so mercury, hydrargyrum, mercury. So mercury, hydrargyrum. So here the concept is, when mercury reacts with gold, what we get? When mercury reacts with gold, what we get? Yes, Abhishek. When mercury reacts with gold, what we get? What is the name of that alloy? Okay, what is the name of that alloy? What is the name of that alloy? Nothing but amalgam. Okay, so amalgam. The name of the alloy is called as amalgam. So mercury can react with any kind of metal except two elements. So that is, first one platinum, and the second one is iron. Second one is iron. Okay, next. Which of the following minerals produces green color in firework? So barium, copper, sodium, zinc. Barium, copper, sodium, zinc. So green color. If you used barium, guys, if you used barium, yes, amalgam, very good, very good. So if you use the barium, then what we get? Pale green. Okay, so nothing but apple green. So apple green color. Next, copper. If you use the copper, you can get mostly blue color. Okay, so blue color. Next, sodium. So brick color. So zinc. Generally, we are not using zinc to get the colors, right? So here the correct option is option 1 only. Okay, option 1 only. So here, which chemical is treated as gunpowder? Gunpowder. In gunpowder, what we have? So to make fire crackers, whatever it is, okay, mostly in that we are using some kind of nitrate related derivatives, na? So one is sodium nitrate. Okay, so sodium nitrate, and the second one is potassium nitrate, potassium nitrate, and the third one is zinc nitrate also, zinc nitrate. So here, if you consider potassium nitrate, if it is added with carbon and sulfur, then this powder is treated as mostly gunpowder. This composition is treated as gunpowder. Okay, so here which one is called as Indian saltpeter or Bengal saltpeter? Indian saltpeter or Bengal saltpeter? So Bengal saltpeter. So in these three examples, guys, okay, so in these three options, which one is treated as Indian saltpeter or Bengal saltpeter? Anyone? So anyone? Yes, very good, very good. So potassium nitrate. Yes, of course you're right. So potassium nitrate is treated as Indian saltpeter or Bengal saltpeter, and this is called as Chilean saltpeter or Chile saltpeter. Okay. Next one. Collagen is a type of carbohydrate, next fat, next protein, next vitamin. Anyone? What is the correct option here? Collagen. So collagen is a type of carbohydrate, next fat, next protein, next vitamin. Next vitamin. Yes, anyone? Anyone? So what is the correct option here? Collagen means? Collagen means? Yes, very good. Of course, option 3 is the correct answer. Okay, so protein. Next, in the reference to atomicity, argon is, okay, in the reference to atomicity. Atomicity means the number of atoms in a molecule or an element, whatever it is, that is considered as atomicity. The number of atoms, the number of atoms. So if you consider argon, nothing but noble gas, okay. So argon can be represented with Ar, na? So Ar. So here the atomicity is, how many argons we have? Only one. That's why it is treated as monoatomic element. If you consider noble gases, mostly those are monoatomic. What about oxygen, next nitrogen? These are diatomic. What about phosphorus? This is tetraatomic. Okay, so mostly here the atomicity is 4 only. What about sulfur? Sulfur atomicity 8. What about C60? Which element is having highest atomicity? Mostly carbon, na? So here the atomicity is 60. Okay, atomicity of Buckminster fullerene. Generally it is called as Buckminster fullerene. Its atomicity would be 60 only. Next, which of the following liquids has the highest pH value? Human blood, orange juice, next milk of magnesia, next lemon juice. Which of the following liquids has the highest pH value? If you consider the pH scale, the values are lies between 0 to 14, na? 0 to 14. So here the mean value is 7. From 7 to 0, acidic nature increases. From 7 to 14, basic nature increases. So if the value is exactly 7, that is called as neutral. That is considered as neutral. So here it is the concept. So human blood, mostly its value 7.3 to 7.45. What about orange juice? It's okay. Orange juice pH value is in between 2 to 3. Next, milk of magnesia. So its pH value. Okay, so its pH value is around 10 to 11. Na? So 10 to 11. Na? Next, lemon juice, its pH value is also 2 to 2.5. So 2 to 2.5. So that's why, guys, here the correct option is option 3 only. So milk of magnesia. So here again I have a question for you. So which chemical is treated as milk of magnesia? What is the chemical name of milk of magnesia? Anyone? Milk of magnesia. Nothing but magnesium hydroxide. So magnesium hydroxide. So magnesium hydroxide, it can be used for purgative for children's. Okay, it means if children are facing any digestion related issues, okay, so then we have to use some kind of chemicals, na? So mostly in our childhood, so our parents used, okay, so parents used these kind of not these kind of derivatives, they used castor oil. Okay, so castor oil. So instead of that present, so this kind of chemicals are widely spreaded, na? So purgative for children's, nothing but milk of magnesia. So this is the most widely used antacid, the most widely used antacid. You should also remember that, the most widely used antacid. Next one, here it is. So if you consider hydrochloric acid, stomach acid, lemon juice, vinegar, so apple, okay, so its pH values are existed like this. Next one, the horizontal rows in the modern periodic table are called as, so clusters, periods, families, groups. Yes. Okay, so in periodic table, guys, okay, so in periodic table, these vertical lines are, okay, these vertical related derivatives are treated as groups. Okay, groups or columns. Next, horizontal related derivatives are treated as periods. Okay, so periods. How many groups we have? So mostly 18 groups. How many periods we have? 7 periods. So 7 periods and 18 groups. So here they mentioned about horizontal rows na. So that's why we should consider option 2 only. So but here I have a question for you. So that is nothing but, which is the shortest period and which is the longest period? Shortest period, which is the shortest period, and which is the longest period? So longest period. So totally how many periods we have? 7 periods na. So first period, second period, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. So mostly 7 periods we have. In first period, here it is the hydrogen and here it is the helium. Totally we have 2 atoms only. Okay, so 2 elements only. The number of elements are 2 only. What about in second period? Mostly 2, here it is 8, here it is 8, next 18, 32. Okay, so 32. So in fifth period we have, fourth and fifth we have the same number of elements. In the same manner, sixth and seventh period also have the same number of elements. So this is the shortest period. So first period is the shortest one. Both sixth and seventh are treated as the longest period. So present we are using the modern periodic table now. So this modern periodic table, okay, so modern periodic table. So modern periodic table was proposed by Moseley based on which property? If you know the answer, please comment. Modern periodic table designed on, okay, so proposed on which property? If you know the answer, so please comment. Yes, anyone? Atomic number? Yes, Abhishek, atomic number? So modern periodic table proposed by Moseley, okay, Moseley, of course, based on atomic number, okay, atomic number. But if you considered Mendeleev, so Mendeleev at the same time Dobereiner triad, okay, so law of triads. Next, Lothar-Meyer concept, okay, so Lothar-Meyer concept. Next, Mendeleev, okay, so Mendeleev. So almost all these concepts are based on atomic mass only. Okay, so atomic mass or atomic weight only. Not only that, if you considered John Newland's theory, Newland's theory, okay, so that is also based on atomic mass or atomic weight. Okay, so Mendeleev concept, law of triads, Lothar-Meyer concept, John Newland's concept. Okay, so law of octaves, that is nothing but, John Newland concept is nothing but law of octaves. Almost Almost all these are based on, okay, almost all these are based on only atomic masses or atomic weight. But this one is completely different. Modern periodic table proposed by Mosley based on atomic number only. Atomic number. So atomic number means nothing but electron configuration. Electron configuration. Okay, right. So which of the following is known as alkaline earth metal? Which of the following is known as alkaline earth metal? So magnesium, cobalt, copper, platinum. First of all, you have to know about what is meant by an alkaline earth metal. Okay, so first group elements are treated as alkali metals. Okay, alkali metals. What are those? So except of course hydrogen is also first group element, but it is not a metal. That's why we consider lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, so cesium, next francium. Okay, so francium. So here they mentioned, okay, they didn't mention about first group element. Next, second group element. So these second group elements are called as alkaline earth metals. Okay, alkaline earth metals. Okay, so here we have, so beryllium, next magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, next radium. Okay, so radium. So these are second group elements. Here they mentioned about the second group elements. Now, of course, here it is magnesium. Option A is the correct answer. So the magnesium. Okay, so magnesium metal is exist in chlorophyll also. So chlorophyll. Okay, so chlorophyll. The element, the metal which is exist in chlorophyll is nothing but magnesium. What about cobalt? Cobalt, it is a transition element. Now it indicates with CO. Okay, so CO. Suppose if you consider cobalt 60. Okay, so cobalt 60, cobalt 59. So these are the isotopes, but this isotope is majorly used to produce gamma rays. Okay, so gamma rays, not only that, it can be used in chemotherapy, cancer chemotherapy. Okay, so chemotherapy, right? So cancer. So to reduce the size of tumors, so present we are using this cobalt 60 isotope. Now, next copper. Okay, so copper Cu. So here the atomic number of copper is 29. Next atomic mass is 63. Okay, so approximately 63.5 something. So this is a noble metal. This is a noble metal. So noble metal. The reason is it reacts very less number of elements, na, like copper, silver, gold, next platinum. So these are all treated as noble metals. Okay, next platinum. So platinum, so this is also treated as a noble metal. Of course, these are all considered as coinage metals also. Coinage metals. Okay, so coinage metal, generally copper, silver, next gold. Okay, so next gold. So these are treated as coinage metals. Why? Because these are used to make which one? Coins. Okay, so coins. Next, third group elements, boron family. Third group or 13th group elements, what we call boron family. Okay, so boron family. Next, fourth group elements or 14th group elements, what we call, so carbon family. Okay, so carbon family. Next, fifth group elements or 15th group elements. So these are called as nicogens. Okay, so nicogens. So mostly nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, nitrogen, phosphorus. Next one, arsenic, antimony. Next, bismuth. Okay, so bismuth. Next, sixth group elements or 16th group elements. These are called as chalcogens. So chalcogens, nothing but ore forming elements: oxygen, sulfur, silurium, tellurium, polonium. Okay, so polonium. Next, seventh group elements or 17th group elements. So nothing but fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine. Okay, so astatine. Next, eighth group elements or 18th group elements or zero group elements. Okay, so zero group elements, nothing but noble gases, aerogens. Next, inert gases. Okay, so those are helium, neon, argon, krypton. Next, xenon, radon, oxygen. So this radon is also used in chemotherapy. Okay, so chemotherapy to produce gamma rays, whatever it is. Next, which of the following is the other name of marsh gas? Here they mention propane, next butane, next methane, next ethane. Which is the correct option, guys? Propane. Propane means, so 3 carbons. Okay, so prop means 3 carbons. Here it is a alkane family. Na? The formula of alkane is CnH2n plus 2. CnH2n plus 2. That's why we should consider C3 next H8. If you substitute n is equal to 3, then you can get C3H8. Next butane. Butane means C4. C4H10. Next methane means CH4. Ethane means C2H6. Ethane means C2H6. So here it is. Actually, methane is considered as marsh gas. Marsh gas. Generally, methane is having different common names. Na? So methane is having different common names. Here it is. The first one marsh gas. Second one CNG, compressed natural gas. Next LNG, liquid natural gas. Next PNG, piped natural gas. Next NG, natural gas. Next biogas. Okay, so biogas. Next oil gas. Okay, oil gas. Next mostly from yes, oil gas. Next coal gas. Okay, even coal gas also what we have hydrogen. Next carbon oxide, at the same time methane. Okay, so methane. Next gobar gas. Okay, so gobar gas. Next bio toilets. If you consider bio toilets or green toilets. Okay, so green toilets. So from that also we are getting the methane related derivatives. Next, which of the following is the common name of natural admixture mineral of zinc carbonate and hydrous zinc silicate? So chalk, calamine, next benzol, next borax. Yes. So chalk means calcium carbonate, CaCO3. So calcium carbonate, same kind of chemical existed in the coral reefs. Okay, so coral reefs. So these coral reefs are treated as biotic. So biotic means living component. What about chalk piece or piece of chalk? This is a abiotic component. Okay, abiotic component. Next calamine. Calamine means nothing but zinc carbonate. Okay, so zinc carbonate. Here they mentioned about which of the following chemical is the common name of natural admixture mineral of zinc carbonate and hydrous zinc silicates. So here it is, ZnCO3. Okay, so ZnCO3, generally we are using this kind of terminology for calamine. Na? So that's why here the option is option 2 only. Option 2. What about benzol? Benzol means nothing but benzene. Okay, so benzene is also treated as benzol. Okay, so C6H6. Next one, borax. Borax means borax is also called as tincol. Okay, so tincol. Here it is having sodium boron related derivatives. Na? So Na2B4O7. So 10H2O. So 10H2O. This is the formula of borax. Okay, so this is the formula of borax. So to make antiseptic related or skin allergy related soaps, we are using this kind of derivatives. Okay, nothing but borax. Yes, so here it is. Calamine is used to relieve the itching pains also. So this is also one of the advantage. Of course, here we have number of advantages. Next, force of attractions between molecules of the same substance is called as viscosity. Next, cohesive force, surface tension, adhesive force. So option 2, cohesive forces. Okay, if you consider liquids, nothing but fluids. Fluids means both liquids and gases. Na? liquids and gases na. Here liquids are exhibiting four properties: surface tension, surface tension, capillarity, viscosity, okay, viscosity. Next, fourth one, angle of contact, okay, angle of contact or contact angle, angle of contact. Okay, so here if you consider two similar molecules, the attractive forces between these two similar molecules are nothing but cohesive forces. Okay, so different molecule, the attraction between different molecules is nothing but adhesive forces. Because of cohesive forces, guys, it exhibits surface tension. Okay, so surface tension. So here it is. This is the best example. Raindrop or water drop, it is completely spherical because of cohesive forces. Okay, because of cohesive forces. If the cohesive forces are high, then the size of the liquid drop mostly reduces. Then surface tension. Okay, so surface tension mostly size decreases na, surface tension mostly increases. Okay, mostly increases. So what are the units of surface tension? If anyone knows that, please comment. What are the units of surface tension? Okay. Next, who among the following is credited with postulating three laws of planetary motion? Galileo, Isaac Newton, so Johannes Kepler. Next, Tycho Brahe. Here, what did they write? Three laws of planetary motion. Tycho Brahe. Did you hear about this philosopher? He proposed geocentric theory. Okay. Next, Galileo. So Galileo concept is related to first thermometer was invented by Galileo. Okay. Next, Isaac Newton. So gravity concept introduced by Isaac Newton. Next, Johannes Kepler. Here the correct option is option 3 only. So Kepler planetary motions, totally three laws we have. So law of orbits, law of area, next law of periods. Totally three laws we have. Na? So that's why here the correct option is option 3 only. Next, an elastic wave generated by an impulse such as an earthquake or an explosion is called tectonic shift. Next, sound wave, seismic wave. Next, epicenter. Which is the correct one here? Tectonic shift, sound waves, seismic waves. Next, epicenter. Of course, here the correct one is option 3 only. Okay. So to analyze about the magnitude of the seismic waves. Okay, so what we used? Richter scale. Okay, Richter scale. What about intensity of the seismic waves can be measured by using Mercalli scale. Okay. So Mercalli scale. What about here? Richter scale. Okay, so Richter scale. So this type of constituents generally we use it now. So do you have any idea about NDMA Act? NDMA, National Disaster Management Act. When did we initiate this one? When did we initiate this National Disaster Management Act? 2005. So 2005. Okay, 2005. So seismic waves. So where the earthquake was initiated, that is considered as focus. Of course, it is also treated as epicenter. Focus or epicenter. Because of the movement of tectonic plates, guys, so we can get the earthquakes. Suppose if the same kind of earthquakes, was happened in the region of water body, then it is treated as tsunami. But here the conditions apply. So the tsunami means if the magnitude of the earthquake in the water body is more than 6.5, only then it is treated as tsunami. Tsunami is a Japanese word. Tsunami is a Japanese word. Which of the following is one of the main causes of tides? Main causes of tides. Here it is: gravitational pull of the sun and the moon. Next, closed orbits of the planets. Next, rotation of earth. Next, solar fibers. Solar fibers. So in SSC JE point of view, guys, especially from general science, means physics, chemistry, biology, from these three subjects you will expect so 12 to 15 questions. 12 to 15 questions. So in next section, okay, tomorrow section, we are majorly will plan to highlight about science and technology. Next one, environment. Okay, so environment and some of the disaster management questions also you have to remember that. So tomorrow we have the same SSC JE marathon section. Okay, so in that we will have the questions related to science and technology, the two current affairs based questions. Next, environment related. Next, at the same time, disaster management point of view also. So from here also, guys, S&T point of view, you will get approximately 4 questions. Okay. Next, environment. So in that also 4 to 6 questions. So next, disaster. The group of these 3 subjects, you will get on an average around 12 questions, 10 to 12 questions. So if you consider physics, chemistry, biology, science and technology, next disaster management, next one environment, from these 6 subjects, guys, so on an average you will get approximately 20 questions to 25 questions, 20 to 25 questions. So that's why you have to follow that. You have to follow these SSC JE marathon sections. Okay, which of the following is one of the main cause of tides? So we are getting the tides only because of moon. Okay, moon's gravity and earth gravity. Here it is. Actually, earth is spherical, but when it is getting to be revolving, okay, revolved around itself, it's looking like elliptical, na? So here, because of moon and some also, we are getting high tides, low tides, high tides, low tides. What is the G value of earth? What is the G value? So 9.81 meter per second square, 9.81 meter per second square. What about G value of moon? 1.64 meter per second square, meter per second square. Actually, G value of moon is equal to 1/6 into G value of earth. This is the relation. This is the relation. Next, G value of sun is equal to 27 times of G value of earth. G value of earth. Next, G value of Mars is equal to 1/3 into G value of earth. G value of earth. Okay. So here we are getting the tidal energy. So tidal energy. So which is the most renewable energy? Which is considered as the most expensive renewable energy? So tidal. So not only tidal, concentrating solar thermal energy is also most expensive renewable energy source. Okay, so tidal. So to get the tidal energy, guys, we need moon's gravity. Without moon's gravity, So it's not possible to get tides on the water, that in the region of this blue planet. Suppose if the height of the tide is more than 5 meters, only then we can get the tidal energy. Otherwise it's not possible. Next, who among the following was the first to conclude that in vacuum all objects fall with the same acceleration g and reach the ground at the same time? So Albert Einstein, Galileo, Thomas Alva Edison, Isaac Newton. Yes, anyone? What is the correct option here? So what is the correct option here? Option B. Very good. Option B. So Albert Einstein, Galileo, Thomas Alva Edison, next Isaac Newton. Of course, option B is the correct answer. Albert Einstein. So he received Nobel Prize for photoelectric effect. Okay, so photoelectric effect. Next, so Einstein relative theory is equal to mc square. This is also one of the famous equation. Okay, so photoelectric effect. By using photoelectric effect, guys, we can get how an object can get the color. Okay, next Galileo. So on Pisa Tower, so he did one of the experiment which concerns to accelerating of g value. Okay, so g value, of course, due to the atmospheric gases. So two objects, when we drop these two objects from Pisa Tower, so Pisa Tower, it touches the ground within the same time. Okay, so within the same time. Okay, so that's why here we consider option 2 is the correct one. Next, Thomas Alva Edison. So Thomas Alva Edison, electric bulb was invented by Thomas Alva Edison. So here, guys, we are using nitrogen gas. Next, this is flint glass. Okay, so flint glass. Next, here it can be made by using filament, can be made by using tungsten. So nothing but W. Okay, so tungsten. Why? Because it has highest melting point approximately, so 3442 degrees centigrade. Isaac Newton. So famous equations are Newton's laws. Newton's first law, inertia. Newton's second law, F is equal to ma. Next, Newton's third law, for every action there is equal and opposite reaction. You have an idea about it. Okay, right. So next one, dash is the external agency applied on a body to change its state of rest or uniform motion. So force, power, energy, heat. Which is the correct option here? Dash is the external agency applied on a body to change its state of rest or uniform motion. Option 1 is, so if you consider Newton's laws, in that Newton's first law, it related to inertia. So without applying of external force, mostly the object exists in the rest only or uniform motion. Okay, so we are not changing the position of the object or the orientation of object also. So mostly here we have three types of inertia. Rest of inertia. Okay, rest of inertia. Motion of inertia. So motion of inertia. Next, direction of inertia. So direction of inertia. So In China, guys, we have one of the world largest hydroelectric power project. If you open the all floodgates of that project, guys, even the rotation of earth, it means motion of inertia of earth can also be affected approximately 0.6 milliseconds according to NASA. Can you guess what is the name of that hydroelectric power project? Anyone? Can you guess the name of that hydroelectric power project? It is exists in China. That is the world largest hydroelectric power project. Its capacity would be 22,500 megawatts. 22,500 megawatts only from that single project. Of course, it is in China. I need the name. Okay, so name of the hydroelectric power project. Anyone? So first law is concerns to inertia. Second law is concerns to moment. So third law is concerns to for every action there is equal and opposite reaction. Equal and opposite reaction is so Srimant. Of course, you're right. So 3 Gorges Dam. Very good. What about India's largest hydroelectric power project? If you know the answer, please comment. Okay, what about India's largest hydroelectric power project? Okay, so which of the following statement is correct? Two magnetic field lines may intersect. The net zero magnetic flux through any closed surface is 0. Next, earth magnetic poles coincide with the geographic poles. Next, magnetic flux is a vector quantity. Magnetic flux is a vector quantity. Which is the correct statement here? Which is the correct statement? Yes. Anyone? Which is the correct one here? Anyone, guys? So here the correct statement: two magnetic field lines may intersect. So mostly it is not possible. If you consider two magnetic field, those lines are not a possibility to intersect. Next, here the second one is the net magnetic flux through any closed surface is 0. Okay, any closed surface is 0. So here it is. If you consider a magnetic, if you consider a bar magnet, so mostly we are getting the magnetic lines just like this, just like this. So in a closed area, guys, okay, in a closed area, almost all these magnetic flux lines get into be 0. Okay, so get into be 0 because it is an enclosed area, That's why these are magnetic flux related derivatives are getting to be 0 here. So because of that, the answer is option 2 only. Next, earth magnetic poles. Generally we thought north pole is existed here and south pole is existed here, but compared with the realistic point of view, so mostly the poles are not exactly lies on the geographic poles. Some kind of deviation is there. For every 2.5 lakh years, north pole becomes south pole becomes north pole. It means that kind of exchange will be possible. Okay, so will be possible. Okay, so that's why these two are not treated as the correct one. Option 2 is the correct answer here. Option 2 is the correct answer here. So here it is. So B into so magnetic flux and the area. So this is a closed area, That's why guys we are getting almost 0 only. So 0 only. Next, parsec. So sorry, parsec is an unit of acceleration, speed, length, time. Acceleration, speed, length, time. So parsec. So 1 parsec is equal to 3.26 light years. 3.26 light years. Okay. So here this is the unit of mostly length, nothing but distance. Option 3 only. Okay, so here it is one interesting point. So distance, next time, next mass. Okay, so mass, which is the largest unit, of distance, so parsec. Okay, so parsec, this is the largest unit. So we have parsec, next light year. Okay, so light year, so 1 light year is equal to 9.45 into 10 power 12 kilometers, Next astronomical unit, so 1 astronomical unit is equal to 150 million kilometers, So here guys, AU, next light year, next parsec. These 3 units are majorly used in cosmology. Not only that, even SSC exams also, to indicate the distance between 2 objects. Mostly we are using this type of terminology, but this is the largest unit, so parsec. What about the smallest unit? Okay, so smallest unit, so which is considered as the smallest unit here. Here the smallest unit is mostly not Jepto, Fermi. Okay, so Fermi, 1 Fermi is equal to 10 power minus 15 meters. 1 Fermi is equal to 10 power minus 15 meters. Okay, what about time, which is the largest unit? Anyone? Any guess? Yes, any guess? What is the largest unit of time? Galactic year. So galactic year or cosmic year. 1 galactic year is equal to 225 to 250 million years. 225 to 250 million. Okay, so million years. If you consider our galaxy, Milky Way, right? So Milky Way. So in that our solar system is existed. Now this is our solar system. This is the center of the Milky Way, center of our galaxy. So to complete one orbit around the center of the Milky Way, the time needed is considered as 1 galactic year or 1 cosmic year. So it is approximately 225 to 250 million years. 225 to 250 million years. What about the smallest unit? Anyone? What about the smallest unit? So of course here I will give you a clue. So with that name you can also expect we can also have one of the delivery based app. Yes, okay, very good. Jepto. Okay, so Jepto means 10 power minus 21 seconds. Jepto means 10 power minus 21 seconds. This is the smallest unit. Next, mass, which is the largest unit? Chandrasekhar limit, CSL. Okay, so Chandrasekhar limit, which is equal to 1.4 into 2 into 10 power 30 kgs. 10 power 30 kgs or 1.4 into solar mass. Okay, 1.4 into solar mass. Solar mass. What about the smallest unit? AMU. So AMU means atomic mass unit. Atomic mass unit. 1 AMU is equal to C12 by 12. So if you cut the C12 atom, that to 12 units, so 12 parts, then each unit is treated as 1 AMU. Okay, 1 AMU. Right. Next, which of the following is SI unit of measuring the amount of a substance? Anyone? Which of the following is the SI unit of measuring the amount of substance? Here they mention mole, next candela, next Kelvin, next meter. Of course, here it is the correct option. Option 1 only. So 1 mole is equal to Avogadro number. Okay, so Na, right? So Na, so which is equal to Avogadro number is equal to 1 mole. 1 mole is equal to gram molecular weight. So gram molecular weight, which is equal to, so gram molecular weight which is equal to 6.023 into 10 power 23. If it is gas, then we should also consider 22.4 liters. 22.4 liters. Okay, so this is the relation. Which concerns to Avogadro number. Yes, so 6.023 into 10 power 23. Very good, very good. Okay, so what about the remaining one? So candela, next Kelvin, next meter. Here it is. If you consider Kelvin, guys, this is the SI unit of temperature. Right. Next distance, mostly meter. Next electric current, ampere. Next time, seconds. Next amount of substance, mole. Next mass, kilograms. Next intensity of sound, candela. Okay, so candela. A fuse protects an electric circuit from. So number of times this question was raised even RRB JE. So just a few months back, RRB JE exam was conducted. So in that, at the same time, previous SSC JE examinations also, this question was right. What is the advantage of fuse wire? Okay, what is the advantage of fuse wire? Anyone? Any guess? Inducing current, overloading, next carrying current, converting one form of energy into other. Very good, very good. Option 2 is the correct answer, overloading. Okay, so overloading. So here the major advantage of fuse wire is if you are getting high voltage, okay, if you are getting excess amount of current, okay, excess amount of current, excess current, then what will happen in domestic point of view? What will happen, right? What will happen? So generally in India, in domestic point of view, we are using 230 volts of energy, na? Okay, so 230 volts of energy. If you are getting excess amount of current, most of the electronic gadgets get into be collapsed. Okay, that's why to protect from that, to protect from excess current, guys, we are using mostly fuse wire. Okay, so fuse wire. So here this fuse wire is made by using solder. Okay, so solder, this is one of the alloy. So in this solder, guys, we have lead plus tin. This is lead and this is tin. So to make ideal fuse wire, okay, ideal fuse wire, we have to use mostly lead plus tin, solder. What is the specialty of this ideal fuse wire? It has its resistance and melting point. Okay, anyone can guess? So what about the resistance of ideal fuse wire? Is it high or low? At the same time, what about the melting point? Is it high or low? Why? Because here we mentioned ideal fuse wire, na? So to make this ideal fuse wire, we should use mostly lead and tin. Yes, anyone? So very good. High resistance. Okay, high resistance and low melting point. That is the specialty of ideal fuse wire. Okay. Next, here it is. So fuse wire is a safety device placed in the electric circuit. Mostly to protect from excess current, we are using this ideal fuse wire. Next, which of the following is a characteristics of conservative force? Anyone? So work done by it in a round trip is not zero. Energy is dissipated as heat energy. Work done by it depends upon the path. Work done by it is completely recoverable. So resistance should be high. Okay, so here resistance for fuse wire guys, resistance should be high. Why? Because if resistance is high, only then the electric wire, nothing but the fuse wire, getting to be melted, na? Okay, so getting to be melted, then it immediately broke down into two pieces or whatever it is. Okay, in that point of view, we can easily overcome the excess current. First, the wire should have the maximum amount of heat. Only then it could be cut down. Na? Okay, that's why it should maintain high resistance and low melting point. If melting point is high, it takes maximum time. Okay, so then within this span, okay, so meanwhile what happened, almost all the electric gauges getting to be collapsed. That's why ideal fuse wire should maintain high resistance and low melting point. Yes, what is the correct option here? Of course, option D. Work done by it, it is completely recoverable. Okay, so recoverable. So what about the first one? Work done by it in a round trip is not zero. Not zero. This is the round trip. Okay, so round trip. So you already know that work done. W is equal to force into displacement into cos theta. Okay, so cos theta. Okay, so here the angle is, okay, so here the angle is right. So if the work done is in this orientation, guys, then what will happen? What will happen? So here we are having two types of forces. If electron is revolving around the nucleus, mostly two types of forces are exhibiting on it. Na? So that here the angle is 90 degrees. Cos 90 degrees is equal to mostly 0. So that's why work done here it is 0. But they mention not 0. Na? That's why this is wrong. Next, energy is lost as heat energy. Not only heat energy, so different types of possibilities are there. So that's why this is not correct one. Work done by it depends upon the path. Actually, work done not depends upon the path. It depends upon the initial and final position of the path only. Okay, so not depends upon the path, initial and final position. That's why this one is also wrong. Next, work done by it's completely recoverable. Okay, so recoverable. That's why, guys, here we considered option 4 is the correct one. Option 4 is the correct one. Okay, next one. The lowest temperature at which substance catches fire is called ignition temperature, normal temperature, boiling point, melting point. Boiling point, next melting point. Boiling point and melting point. Yes, anyone? Option 1, huh? Of course, option 1 is the correct. Okay, so ignition temperature. If you consider diesel, okay, so diesel and petrol, mostly these type of fuels used in heavy vehicles. Heavy vehicles. The reason is its ignition value would be somewhat high. Okay, it can easily catches the fire. What about petrol? So petrol efficiency indicates in octane number. Okay, so octane number. So it means its energy would be high. So what about diesel? Diesel efficiency can indicates in the terms of C10 number. Okay, so C10 number. C10 number generally indicates the ignition capability. So that's why here we consider option 1 is the correct one. Normal temperature is not related to that. So melting point means the amount of temperature required to convert liquid into gas. Okay, so liquid to gas. So next, melting point means the amount of temperature required to convert a solid into liquid. Here I have a question for you. Suppose if you consider solid, if it is directly converted into gas, then what we call? What is the name of this process? Anyone? If solid directly converts to gas, what is the name of this process? What is the name of this process? Solid directly converts to gas. What is the name of this process? Yes, very good. Sublimation. Okay, so sublimation. Sublimation. This is sublimation. Okay, what about this one? What about this one? Gas converts to solid. What we call? Gas converts to solid. What we call? Gas converts to solid. What we call? Okay, so deposition. Very good. Deposition. This is called as deposition. Right. So best example, frost. Here the best example for sublimation, best example, ammonium chloride. Next, camphor, naphthalene balls. These are all best example for that. Next, which part of the body is associated with the rickets disorder? Which part of the body is associated with the rickets disorder? Anyone? Anyone? So heart, next bones, next eyes, next skin. Rickets. Rickets. Option 2 only. Option 2 only. So here it is. Actually rickets caused by the lack of vitamin D. Okay, so lack of vitamin D. Okay, so vitamin D. So rickets. It affects on the bones also. Next, if you consider fluorine, okay, so fluorine, the deficiency of fluorine is also caused one of the disease. Now, what was that? Fluorosis. So fluorosis. Okay, so fluorosis. Here my question is, what is the level? Okay, so at what mostly if the level of fluorine is greater than some value, only then we can get the fluorosis. What is the value? What is the value? Anyone? If the level of fluorine is greater than some value, only then we can get the fluorosis. So 5 milligrams per liter. Okay. Shiva, 5 milligrams per liter. 1.5 milligrams per liter. Okay, good. So 1.5 more than 1.5 milligrams or 1.5 ppm. 1.5 ppm. So what about mercury? So what about mercury? Right? What about mercury? Because of mercury, what kind of diseases we get? In examination point of view, guys, you have to remember these elements importance. Okay, so mercury. So if the excess deposition of mercury, it is also causes one of the disease. It is called as Minamata. Okay, so Minamata. Minamata, the first case of Minamata founded in the region of Japan. Okay, so Japan, the two in Minamata Island. Okay, so Minamata Island. So Minamata Island. Okay, so because in this island, guys, we have PVC industries. PVC means polyvinyl chloride. Vinyl chloride industries. At the same time, here we have some of the coal mine industries. So from that we are getting some mercuric waste. This mercuric waste directly dumped into the seawater. So because of bioamplification, Japanese were faced the issues, that is nothing but Minamata. So the name of the island was proposed for this disease. Na? So Minamata. So in human body directly impacts on the central nervous system. Okay, so central nervous system. Okay, next, in which form mostly mercury deposited in the human body? Methyl mercury. So methyl mercury. So this is called as methyl. So methyl mercury. So these questions are already raised in SSC JE, next RRB JE also, even UPSC prelims also. Okay, so UPSC prelims type of questions. These are all. What about cadmium in Japan? So this case was also founded first time. These type of cases are also founded. That is nothing but Itai. Okay, so Itai. So Itai next Minamata. These two cases are founded in Japan. The reason is actually to make rechargeable batteries they used nickel cadmium. Okay, so rechargeable batteries they use nickel cadmium. Because of these derivatives, guys, there is a possibility to inhale some contaminated derivatives, na? So then their spinal cord has been bended like this. Okay, so bended like this, and their digestion system are also facing the issues. So these are all the major symptoms which concerns to Itai. Next, how many arteries are there in the umbilical cord? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many arteries are there in umbilical cord? Umbilical cord. Yes. Anyone? Anyone? 3, na? Okay, 2. So 2. Okay, option 2 is the correct answer. Okay, option 2. Here it is, umbilical cord. Okay, so umbilical cord. So in this we have two types of derivatives. Now one is umbilical arteries and the second one is umbilical vein. Okay, umbilical vein. So totally two arteries and one vein is existed. Na? So what is the role of these umbilical arteries? So carry the deoxygenated blood and waste products from the fetus to the placenta. Okay, so placenta. Next, what about umbilical vein? So it carries oxygenated nutrients, rich blood from the placenta back to the fetus. So in this umbilical cord, guys, we are having stem cells. Okay, so mostly stem cells. So present across the world. Okay, across the world, most of the region we are having mostly stem cells, preservative banks, na? Okay, so preservative banks generally by using embryo, so fetus embryo stem cells. Okay, so stem cells we can recreate some of the organs also. Of course, as of now there is no that much of positive results which concerns to that, but in future there is a possibility to have almost maximum success rate than the present. Okay, so that's why so most of the people are interested to preserve their stem cells, their baby stem cells, by using some of the chemicals. Okay, so one is dry ice. Okay, so dry ice, this is the favorite question for SSC JE. So dry ice means solid CO2. Okay, so solid CO2. So generally if you consider ice, guys, it has only water molecules, but in but in this dry ice it has only carbon dioxide molecules. Okay, so if you heat this material or if you expose this material with the atmospheric gases, fraction of seconds it directly converts to gas. So that's why it is also one of the example for sublimation. Dry ice is also example for sublimation. Okay, example for sublimation. So its boiling point minus 78.5 degrees centigrade. Next, liquid nitrogen, its boiling point minus 196 degrees centigrade. 196 degrees centigrade. So these chemicals are generally used to preserve the stem cells. Not only stem cells, even plants DNA can also be preserved by using these two chemicals. Okay, so in Delhi we have one of the research institute which concerns to CSIR. So that is nothing but NBPGR, National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources. In that, approximately 4 lakh plant samples, that too in the form of DNA, we are preserved. Okay, so we are preserved in that. Next, carbon and energy requirements of an autotrophic organism are fulfilled by glycogenation, photosynthesis, locomotion. Next, respiration. Which is the correct one? Of course, option 2. So, photosynthesis. Photosynthesis, carbon and energy requirements of an autotrophic organism. Actually, this is biotic components are classified into two types. Na? Biotic components. Components are classified into three types. One is autotrophs. Okay, autotrophs. Autotrophs. Second one, okay, autotrophs are producers. So, producers. Second one, consumers. Okay, consumers. So, or consumers or herbivores. Okay, herbivores. Consumers or herbivores. Next, sorry. Next, decomposers. So, decomposers. So, autotrophs can make food on its own. Best example, coral reefs. Okay, coral reefs, at the same time plants. These two can make food on its own just by using photosynthesis process. So, in this planet, guys, so these are the major derivatives to make food on its own. Okay, so to make food on its own, just like this. Carbon dioxide, next to water. Okay, in presence of sunlight, then what we get? Carbohydrate, C6H12O6 plus, so oxygen, next some energy, some amount of energy also. Okay, here 6 units, here also 6 units. So finally we can get, so carbohydrates plus oxygen. This oxygen is only generated from water, but not from the carbon dioxide. Of course, here also oxygen is existed, na? But we are getting this oxygen only from water. Next, it executed only in presence of sunlight. That's why, of course, here it emits energy, even though these reaction initiate in presence of sunlight only, na? So due to that, it is treated as endothermic reaction. Endothermic reaction. Endothermic means it requires energy. Exothermic means it releases energy. Next, to emit green color, guys, mostly plants absorb which color of wavelength? Okay, so plants absorb which color of solar radiation? From sun we are getting the white light, na? So white light. Okay, so in this white 7 colors are there. VIB, GYOR. So in this only it received red color. Okay, so in this only it received red colors to emit green. So this is the shortcut for that. So that is nothing but BV Roy G. Okay, so BV Roy G. So the complementary color of blue is orange, the complementary color of green is red, next yellow is violet. Okay, so you should remember for that. So this is the concept. So plants absorb water by using reverse osmosis method, of course through xylem 2. Okay, so it emits oxygen. And sunlight can be received by the chlorophyll derivatives. Okay, so chlorophyll derivatives. Next, which of the following disease is caused by parasites? So plague, goiter, malaria, pneumonia. Anyone? Anyone? Yes. So plague, so answer 3 na. So plasmodium parasites, malaria, okay. Of course you're right. So plague, goiter, next malaria, pneumonia. So here it is the answer, so mostly malaria. Okay, if you consider malaria guys, it is a parasitic disease. So it is majorly caused by female Anopheles mosquito. Female Anopheles mosquitoes, the concerned parasites. Next, if you consider goiter, it is caused by iodine. Okay, so mostly iodine. Goiter is caused by iodine. Next, what about pneumonia? So pneumonia is a lungs related diseases na, lung related diseases. Of course it is also caused by variety of organisms, include bacteria, viruses, fungi. Okay, so these are all major responsible for that. What about plague? So plague is majorly caused by mammal related derivatives. Okay, so here bacterium, next Yersinia pestis. So these are the major responsible for plague. So plague is also treated as black death. Here you can observe that. So black death. So finally here the concept, here the answer is option 3 only. So malaria. Okay, option 3 only, malaria. Next one. Which of the following is water soluble vitamins? Yes, anyone? Which of the following is water soluble vitamins? Vitamin A, vitamin K, next vitamin D, next vitamin C. Vitamin C. So fourth one na, option C na. So water soluble vitamins. Of course you are right. Here it is guys. If you consider fat soluble, ADEK, okay, simply we can consider ADEK. So these are fat soluble. So fat soluble. So the remaining one are treated as water soluble. So thiamine, next riboflavin, niacin, okay, so pyridoxine, so biotin, so floic acid, ascorbic acid, cobalamin, cyanocobalamin. So these are all treated as mostly this category na. Okay, so under this category na, here the answer is option C only. If you remember fat soluble, then it's easy to estimate water soluble vitamins. Next, dash is the branch of biology that studies fungi, morphology, virology, coloration, mycology. Morphology, virology, coloration, mycology. Which is the correct one here? So branch of fungi. Mycology. Okay. Morphology. Okay. Okay, right. So here it is the correct option, guys. Mycology is the branch of biology. Okay, so which concerns to study about fungi. Okay, so here they raised about fungi, na. That's why we should consider this one only. Okay, so this one only. So mycology. Option D, option 4 is the correct answer. What about the remaining one? So morphology is the study of mostly living organisms, relation with structure, whatever it is. Next, what about coloration? Coloration is concerns to study of beauty in the nature. So study of beauty in the nature. Okay, next one, what about virology? Virology is related to study of viruses and viral diseases. That's why, guys, we need, okay, so mostly here the correct one is option 4 only. So mycology. Okay, so mycology. Next, which one of the following argons secretes hydrochloric acid that helps our body in killing pathogenic bacteria? Killing pathogenic bacteria. Option 2. Okay, option 2. Of course, you're right. So, stomach. In that, releases gastric juice. So, gastric juice. This gastric juice is also called as muriatic acid. Okay, so muriatic acid. So, its pH value is 1 only. Okay, 1 only. Of course, to killing different kind of pathogenic bacteria. So, this is one of the major responsible chemical, and here the formula is HCl only. Okay, so HCl, gastric juice or muriatic acid. Option 2 is the correct one. Option 2 is the correct one. Which of the following is another name of white ant? It is a very simple question, right? Another name of white ant. Termite, mosquito, housefly, next wasp. Is option 2 mosquitoes, but the answer is option 1 only, termite. Okay, so termite. So this is termite, na? White ant. Okay, so white ant. So these are cellulose eating insects. So that's why here the answer is option 1 only. Option 1 only. Next, which of the following popular kitchen ingredient is called as sugar eating fungus? Baking powder, yeast, vinegar, ketchup. Of course, baking powder means sodium bicarbonate, na? NaHCO3. This is edible salt. Okay, edible salt. So not only this one, potassium bicarbonate also. These are also treated as antacids. Okay, so antacids. So next, yeast. So yeast produces two types of enzymes. Okay, so like invertase, gymase. Okay, so invertase, gymase. So by using these derivatives, guys, you can consider sugar eating fungus is nothing but yeast. Sugar eating fungus is yeast only. If you consider sugar juice. So sugar juice means nothing but sucrose, na? Sucrose. So what is the formula of sucrose? So C12H22O11. O11. So when it is added with water, so generally sucrose releases, this yeast releases two types of enzymes. Now one is invertase. So in presence of invertase, this sucrose can be converted into glucose and fructose. Here the formulas of these two chemicals are same, C6H12O6. Here also same, C6H12O6. If you consider glucose, okay, or fructose, then in presence of gymase enzyme, it can be converted to alcohol, nothing but ethanol, C2H5OH. Okay, so plus, so carbon dioxide, what we call ethanol. Okay, ethanol or ethyl alcohol. Okay, or ethyl alcohol. So this is also called as spirit of wine, right? So spirit of wine. Mostly if you consider any kind of alcoholic brands, we have this kind of alcohol only, mostly ethanol only. Okay, so what about methanol? What about methanol? Methanol is called as wood spirit. Okay, so wood spirit. If we consume this methanol, guys, it leads to death. So it leads to death. Okay, next 95% pure ethanol is treated as industrial alcohol, okay, or rectified spirit. Okay, so rectified spirit na, rectified spirit. What about 100% alcohol? 100% pure alcohol is treated as absolute alcohol, okay, absolute alcohol. Present we are using E20 na, E20, India using E20 vehicle, sorry, not vehicle, E20 fuel. E20 means 20% ethanol, ethanol, remaining 80% gasoline, 80% gasoline, nothing but petrol. So this composition is treated as E20, E85, E80, E100, E5, E10. So number of blended fuels we have. Of course, India's target is we have to use at least 20% of it, 20% of blended fuel by 2025. So here we already did that. Okay, India already did that. So this is East. Next, the vertebrae are a part of which of the following body system in humans? Lungs, spinal cord, kidneys, heart. Kidneys, heart. Option 2, spinal cord. Of course, right. So spinal cord, here it is. So lumbar, okay, so lumbar, L1, L2, L3, L4, L5. So next, so thoracic, okay, so next cervical. So different types of terminology here we use it now. So different types of terminology mostly we used. So here the correct option is option 2 only, spinal cord. Option 2 only, spinal cord. Next, which of the following disease is caused by bacteria? Rubella, polio, diphtheria, next Zika fever. Zika fever. Which of the following is caused by bacteria? Rubella, polio, diphtheria, Zika. Anyone? What is the correct option here, guys? They raised about of course, here the correct one is option 3 only, diphtheria. Here it is. So, if you consider typhoid or cholera, tuberculosis, anthrax, so tetanus, so these are all majorly caused by bacteria. Okay, majorly caused by bacteria. Definitely you will get at least one question from vitamins point of view or disease related point of view. So there is no doubt about it. Okay, that's why you have to. So diseases, next blood relations, next one vitamins. Okay, so vitamins chemical names, so vitamins related concepts, whatever it is. So you have to read at least those concepts. Definitely you will get at least minimum one question, maximum two questions. So virus, so viruses, so here it is dengue, next AIDS, Zika fever, polio, influenza, so protozoa, malaria, so kala azar, next fungi, skin infections. Okay, right. So this is diphtheria. Diphtheria is majorly caused by which one, guys? Diphtheria is majorly caused by so bacteria. Okay, so majorly caused by bacteria. Next, so Kala Azar disease is caused by fungi, bacteria, protozoa, next viruses. Anyone? Kala Azar disease is caused by fungi, bacteria, protozoa, viruses. Of course, option 3 is the correct one. Option 3. Okay, so here it is the so Kala Azar. These are the symptoms, guys. The skin is looking like this. The skin is looking like this. So Kala Azar. So these are the symptoms of bleeding. So scaly skin, next cough, weakness, so darkened ashen skin, next night sweats, whatever it is, night sweats, whatever it is. These are all next enlargement of liver, next spleen. So these are the major symptoms of color azure. Color azure. Of course, it is majorly caused by protozoa. Option 3. Option 3 only. So dash is the water transporting. So transporting tissue in plants. So xylem. Okay, so xylem, option 2. So here it is, xylem, which is not caused by viruses, mostly plague. So plague is not caused by viruses. Okay, so plague is not caused by viruses. Remaining all are Ebola, AIDS, Zika, caused by viruses only. So who won? So this is the last question, guys. Who among the following developed the polio vaccine? So Jonas Salk. Okay, so Jonas Salk. So polio vaccine, it was initiated in the year of 1950s. Okay, so mostly by using inactivated vaccine. So inactivated means killed virus. By using killed virus, they initiated that. Present we are having inactivated polio vaccine, and so that is nothing but Salk. So next Sabin vaccine. Okay, so this is oral polio vaccine. So this is the total conclusion about this section. So of course we covered the maximum content from the from physics, next chemistry and biology. So next day, tomorrow we have same section, but in that we'll focus to analyze about some of the important concepts which concerns to environmental issues, environmental science and technology, some disaster related concepts also. Latest the two it's related to latest trending concepts. So I wish you all the best. Thank you.